Hello everyone. I welcome all of you to the 15th session of the course Energy Law. In today's session, we will explore 3 case studies that demonstrate the role of energy in economic development and social transformation. Let us quickly recap what we have covered in the previous session. In the previous session, we have examined the cross-cutting and global dimensions of the role of energy in economic development and social transformation. The various dimensions include energy, innovation and digital transformation, energy, climate change and sustainable development goals, energy governance and policy coherence, global energy markets and geopolitical shifts. Today's session is dedicated to 3 case studies. The first one is that of the Inflation Reduction Act in the United States of America. We will examine IRA as a clean energy catalyst. Secondly, we will examine the relationship between oil trade and social transformation in the context of the Russian crude. The third case study is that of the Vizag Digital Energy Node. Before moving on to the case studies, let us examine very quickly the significance of energy in economic development and social transformation. Energy is both an input and an institutional driver. It lowers production cost, determines the location of the industry, affects state revenue and trade balances, and is a vector for social policy. In this context, we may recall our discussions on energy access, energy resilience, and energy and environmental justice. Because energy markets interact with industrial policy, trade regimes, and firm investment decisions, energy-focused interventions frequently produce large economy-wide multipliers, beneficial in some dimensions and costly in others if governance and distribution are neglected. The 3 case studies illustrate complementary facets: a planned domestic industrial transition via Inflation Reduction Act, supply-side stimulus for clean energy, energy trade and geopolitics, Russian crude and downstream tariff responses, and energy-enabled digital industrialization, hyperscale data center investment in Vizag. Energy is universally recognized as the lifeblood of modern economy and a foundation for development. To demonstrate this, we have selected 3 contemporary case studies, which are the Inflation Reduction Act in the United States of America, the Russian crude, and the Vizag Digital Energy Node. Let us examine the Inflation Reduction Act in the United States of America as a clean energy catalyst. The Inflation Reduction Act of 2022 is the largest climate and energy legislative package in the United States history. It combines tax incentives, grant authorities, and new finance modalities to accelerate deployment of renewables, storage, low carbon hydrogen, electric vehicles, and domestic manufacture of clean energy components. The Act introduced expanded investment tax credits and production tax credits, new targeted credits, for example, for clean hydrogen and domestic content bonuses, and mechanisms to allow direct payments or credit transfers to project developers, increasing liquidity and bankability of projects. Let us examine the energy economic linkages in IRA. The IRA's massive financial incentives, estimated in the hundreds of billions of dollars, are designed to stimulate private investment and create a domestic clean energy industry. The IRA provides incentives like the Advanced Manufacturing Production Credit to encourage US production of clean energy components such as solar panels, wind turbines, and electric vehicle batteries. As per the records, this has already driven over $115 billion in private clean energy investments and created more than 90,000 jobs in sectors like electric vehicle and battery manufacturing across different states. Projects in states like South Carolina, for example Blythewood, and Georgia, for example Cartersville, are cited as areas where large EV and battery manufacturing projects are expected to have considerable impacts on local labor markets. Another important aspect is that of decarbonization of key sectors. The Act is projected to drive significant investment in clean hydrogen and synthetic liquid fuels by making them cost competitive with fossil fuels through tax credits such as 45V and 45Q. This scaling up of low GHG emissions technologies is crucial for decarbonizing hard-to-abate sectors like heavy-duty transportation and industry. Quantitative modeling from independent research groups such as the Rhodium Group, Princeton's Repeat, Energy Innovation finds that if IRA rules are fully implemented, US greenhouse gas emissions from the electricity and transport sectors could fall substantially. The model ranges indicate 37 to 42% reductions in net GHG emissions by 2030 against the 2005 baselines under plausible implementation scenarios. Concurrently, sectoral employment and capital formation increase through construction, manufacturing plant investment, and long-term operations. Another significant aspect is that of reduced energy cost. Subsidies for clean energy generation, like wind and solar, are projected to lower retail electricity rates, shifting costs from consumers to taxpayers and potentially reducing reliance on volatile global fossil fuel markets. Let us examine the distribution and social transformation effects. The IRA includes provisions designed to promote high-road labor standards and direct investment to historically disadvantaged areas, linking the energy transition to broader social equity goals. From the point of view of labor standards, we may observe that to qualify for the full value of many tax credits, projects must meet prevailing wage and apprenticeship requirements, aiming to ensure that the new green jobs are high quality, family sustaining positions. Some loan and grant programs further prioritize projects with collective bargaining agreements. Another aspect is that of place-based policy and justice. The IRA incorporates a Justice 40 initiative aiming to ensure that 40% of the benefits of certain federal investments flow to disadvantaged communities. It includes a new fund for bottom-up climate action in marginalized communities. The Act is also aiming at improved health benefits. Projected reductions in greenhouse gas emissions from the energy transition, particularly in the power sector, are expected to reduce local air pollution, say for example, sulfur dioxide and particulate matter. These avoided emissions are estimated to result in avoided premature deaths and improved public health, a direct social benefit. Now let us examine few examples. The IRA's uncapped tax credits, particularly the Advanced Manufacturing Production Credit, have catalyzed a massive and immediate surge in private investments across specific sectors or regions, often in states historically reliant on manufacturing or fossil fuels. The first example is that of EV battery gigafactories in Georgia, South Carolina, and Michigan. IRA's domestic content rules and manufacturing tax credits created tens of thousands of new manufacturing jobs and established a new domestic EV supply chain, reversing previous trends of offshoring. For example, announcements in states like Georgia alone represent billions in investment. The second example is that of the utility scale solar project across the Sun Belt and Midwest. The IRA mechanism is that of extension of the investment tax credit, often paired with the domestic content bonus and energy community bonus. Solar power accounts for about 50% of all clean energy transaction value since the IRA. This investment drives demand for American-made panels and battery storage, increasing US solar manufacturing capacity by nearly 10 times its previous IRA level. The third example is that of clean hydrogen hubs. We may examine the regional hubs in Appalachia, Gulf Coast. 45V production tax credit for clean hydrogen, expected to unlock billions in capital investment to commercialize hydrogen production technologies essential for decarbonizing heavy industry such as steel industry, ammonia industry, and creating specialized regional industry ecosystems. Now let us move on to the second case study. Here we will examine the relationship between oil trade and social transformation in the context of the Russian crude. Following Russia's 2022 invasion of Ukraine, Western states adopted sanctions on many Russian entities and a price cap on seaborne Russian crude intended to limit revenue while keeping energy markets functional. These measures combined with European import restrictions created large price differentials between Russian crude and other seaborne grades. Many refiners outside sanctioning states, including Indian refineries, expanded purchase of discounted Russian crude because of refinery configuration and margin calculus. Over 2023-2025, India emerged as a major buyer of discounted Russian barrels, altering traditional supplier patterns. Now let us examine the relationship between trade, tariffs and Russian oil imports. For examining the relationship, the significant factors are trade dynamics and discounts, energy security and economic interest, tariffs and geopolitical pressure, impact of tariffs on economic development, and social impacts. Following Western sanctions, Russia offered significant discounts on its oil. The price advantage was the key factor driving major importers like India to increase Russian oil as a substantial portion of India's crude oil imports, from less than 2% to nearly 40%. Energy security is a very important consideration for states that are dependent on oil imports. States heavily dependent on oil imports prioritize energy security and stable, affordable supplies for their massive consumer base. The discounted Russian oil is one of the most economical options, offering competitive landed cost and profitable refining margins. The imposition or threat of punitive tariffs introduces economic friction into trade relations, complicating bilateral agreements and potentially increasing costs for a nation's exports, thereby threatening its overall economic growth and stability. Nations like India seeks to maintain a policy of strategic autonomy, balancing economic interest and energy security with diplomatic relations. Another significant aspect is that of social impacts. The choice of oil supplier directly impacts domestic energy prices. Securing discounted Russian oil helps control inflation and stabilize prices for the end consumer, which is a critical factor for social stability and the welfare of a large developing population. A sharp increase in oil cost due to change in sourcing would be felt across the entire economy, disproportionately affecting the vulnerable populations. Now let us examine the specific economic linkages. The first aspect is that of immediate economic gains. Discounted crude lowered India's import bill and increased refining margins for facilities configured to process heavier Russian grades. This had short-run benefits for inflation management and current account pressures and supported petrochemical feedstock availability. Another linkage is that of medium-term risk and trade policy backlash. The geopolitical sensitivity of Russian crude created the risk of secondary penalties or tariffs by sanctioning states. Such measures can raise effective cost of exports from affected countries, reducing competitiveness for exporters and potentially undermining employment in affected sectors. Additionally, dependence on a single discounted source may expose refining margins and trade balances to policy shocks. For example, stricter sanctions, shipping restrictions, or payment insurance blockages. Now let us examine a few specific social transformation effects. The first effect is that of household welfare. Cheaper crude and refined product supply can reduce domestic fuel prices and contribute to lower inflation, benefiting consumers, particularly low-income households that spend a great share of income on energy. The second effect is in relation with labor markets. If trade retaliation raises export cost or constrains finance, industrial employment could suffer with localized job losses and political consequences. The third effect is concerning state strategy and industrial policy. Energy sourcing decisions revive debates over strategic autonomy, balancing near-term economic gains against long-term geopolitical alignment and supply chain diversification. Governments may accelerate diversification strategies. For example, increased imports from other suppliers, more storage, faster renewable deployment to reduce exposure. Now let us move on to the third case study on Vizag Digital Energy Node. In 2025, during the Bharat AI Shakti event, Google announced a multi-billion-dollar hyperscale data center cluster in Visakhapatnam, Vizag in Andhra Pradesh, potentially a 1 gigawatt facility with multi-campus development covering several hundred acres in different clusters around Vizag. Several reports cite total project cost in the range of $4 to $6 billion, and note that a substantial portion would be allocated to on-site or contracted renewable energy generation and associated storage to meet 24/7 carbon-free energy commitments and site reliability needs. Let us examine the direct benefits of the project. The project has the potential of creating multiple jobs, both temporary and permanent. Temporary jobs in relation to construction and services, permanent jobs in relation to operations, IT and facilities engineering, and so on. The investment of approximately $15 billion over 5 years, 2026 to 2030, will create 5,000 to 6,000 direct jobs and 20,000 to 30,000 total jobs in the state of Andhra Pradesh. GDP and job multipliers from data center operations expected to generate approximately 10,000 crores of rupees in revenue for Andhra Pradesh. Bringing essential manpower, infrastructure, power and cooling facilities to Vizag generate a significant multiplier effect on the state's economy. We may also consider the aspect of induced local spending as a direct effect. Let us examine the catalytic effects. Large cloud infrastructure projects attract supporting services such as networking, subsea cable landing investments, local cloud native SMEs, and talent hubs. The project encourages local universities and technical institutes to develop relevant curricula on cloud operations, data center engineering, and power systems, and so on. These catalytic effects can reposition a city or a region within the digital economy, increasing higher wage employment and startup activity. Let us examine how there can be transformation through digital infrastructure. Broad digital transformation studies by OECD and ITU confirm that investment in digital infrastructure is an essential accelerator for achieving sustainable development goals and unlocking national productivity. A significant point is that of the digital divide. The consensus is that meaningful universal digital access and the benefits of AI are not possible without massive infrastructure investment. The Vizag Hub is a strategic national asset that enables thousands of businesses and researchers to participate in the digital economy. Based on the 3 case studies, it is possible to do a comparative analysis. From a comparative point of view, the common mechanisms are energy as an enabler, temporal trade-offs, and distributional heterogeneity. We know that energy is an enabler. In the Vizag case, investments in digital infrastructure accelerate sustainable development. In the IRA case, energy incentives enable industrial deployment. In the India-Russia case, energy trade choices enable short-term macro relief. From the point of view of temporal trade-offs, we may observe that short-term gains can conflict with longer-term strategic positioning, while long-term incentives require upfront fiscal cost and careful implementation to deliver social returns. From the common point of distributional heterogeneity, we may observe that benefits from energy interventions are spatially and socially concentrated unless explicit distributional mechanisms are designed, covering workforce training, local procurement, and low-income targeting. Let us conclude our discussion. Energy policy decisions, whether fiscal incentives for clean tech, the case of IRA, short-term commodity sourcing, the case of Russian crude, or infrastructure provisioning for digital investors, the case of Vizag data center, have outsized impacts on the economic structure and social fabric. The 3 cases show that the scale of energy interventions matters, and so does the design. Large benefits are achievable, but only when energy policy is embedded within broader industrial, social, and diplomatic strategies. By aligning incentives, mitigating geopolitical risk, and prioritizing inclusive governance, policymakers can harness energy as a driver of resilient, equitable transformation. Let's see what's coming up. The next session will examine energy and the World Trade Organization, focusing on the intersection of international trade rules, energy security, and sustainable energy transitions. Thank you.